They are both ranked in the top 10 as we get ready for what should be a great night of basketball here inside the Smith Center in Chapel Hill. The starting lineups tonight. We begin with the visiting Blue Devils. Tyler Thornton, Seth Curry, Austin Rivers, Ryan Kelly, and Mason Plumlee up front as Mike Krzyzewski continues to make changes here at this late point of the season, searching for the right combination. He has not been happy with his team's play in the last couple of weeks. For North Carolina, Kendall Marshall, second of the nation in assists. Reggie Bullock for the injured Dexter Strickland. And then the towering front line of Harrison Barnes, John Henson, and Tyler Zeller. Dan Shulman, Dick Vitale, Jay Billis, Aaron Andrews, and about 20,000 people wearing Carolina blue. Plumlee and Henson to get us started, and Duke will get the first possession of the night.
Tell you one thing, Dan, right away, man-to-man, both clubs really, if there's a suspicious area in their game, it's on the defensive end.
Harrison Barnes starting out on Duke's leading scorer, Austin Rivers. That puts length and athleticism on Rivers.
Hey, he's really been playing well lately, Jay. Been attacking the basket. Numbers a lot better the last part of the month.
Plumlee with a spin and banks it in over Zeller.
I think that's big. They get point production. So this is the transition, Jay.
And Plumlee with a block.
Well, that's really a key for North Carolina, is try to get out and run, especially Tyler Zeller. They want to play ahead of the defense, and Duke wants it to be a 5-on-5 game.
Plumlee aggressive early. This time had it knocked away. So far, they are letting them play.
I think it's important that Plumlee scores inside, guys, because we'll create spacing. I don't think Duke can win this game unless they make a minimum of 10 threes.
Rivers for three, and an early 5-0 lead for Duke.
That was a real key for Duke to step up and hit some perimeter jump shots. And another key guy is going to be Ryan Kelly, because he can draw John Henson away from the basket.
Seth Curry drawing the assignment of Kendall Marshall, who picks up his first assist of the night on the basket by Tyler Zeller.
What terrific instincts he has. He made a comment. He said, all of us talk about his vision. He said, I got bad vision. He said, my left eye is bad. I wear a contact, but he has great vision on the floor, Jay. His feel and his instincts are so unique.
Well, and he's fearless. He passes ahead, I think, better than any point guard in America. And you're going to catch guys on switches. He's looking for those mismatches and finds open people.
And he's got people to pass the ball to, because I believe they're the best front court in basketball.
Tyler Zeller with a three-point play. And Carolina's on the board. A minute and a half in here in Chapel Hill.
Rivers has a real quickness advantage on Barnes right now.
You know, you can beat him off the bounce. You can, there it is. You can beat him off the bounce.
They won't stay down, but a foul on Barnes will send Rivers to the free throw line.
Trying to spread the court. His dad told me, he said, going to play for Coach K has been the best thing that happened to my son. He is really learning all the parts of the game.
Rivers at the line, 67% on the season. The freshman is Duke's leading scorer at better than 14 points per game. Dad Doc is in the house. An off night for the Celtics, so he's getting a chance to watch his son Austin compete here in his first Duke-Carolina game. Held ball, and it'll be Carolina ball. Brent, thank you. We'd like to welcome those of you who just watched Syracuse defeat Georgetown in overtime. We are here in Chapel Hill. Dan Shulman, Dick Vitale, Jay Billis, Aaron Andrews, and the Blue Devils are off to a good start. Good plays early by Mason Plumlee and Austin Rivers. A three-point play for Tyler Zeller for Carolina's points. 7-3 Blue Devils. Barnes the drive, up and over. Kelly can't finish it. It'll stay at this end of the floor.
You know, Barnes should have dunked that baby. Early in the game, we've had really Rivers attacking off the bounce. Look at Roy Williams, Mike Krzyzewski. Talk about a rivalry, guys. It doesn't get better than this. When you think about the numbers involved, they just blow you away.
This is the 32nd time in the last 65 meetings both teams have been ranked in the top 10. Left-handed hook shot, no for Henson. The foul is good for Zeller, who's got all 5 Carolina points.
You know, Jay, I think they get the best front player in basketball. What about your assessment?
Well, Zeller is the best offensive rebounder in the league. Went right over the top of Mason Plumlee to tip that in. He's just very active on the glass, and that's a real key for this Carolina team is rebounding. They're the superior rebounding team, out-rebounding their opponents by almost 12 per game.
Mike Krzyzewski said before the game he thinks Tyler Zeller could be named the ACC Player of the Year.
And one thing following on Jay's point, they need the nation rebound margin. They do a phenomenal job attacking the glass.
This time over the back, offensive foul. And it is Zeller, I believe, getting called for that foul. Roy Williams, 8 and 9 in his career as Carolina's head coach against Duke. Mike Krzyzewski, how about this? 36 and 36 against Carolina. Can this rivalry get any more even?
Tell you one thing, I think the key tonight, defense. Whoever defends well is going to have a chance. They're going to go out with the W. Both clubs can score. Carolina leads the nation, and Duke is 4th in score.
Marshall to Zeller.
As the transition, Jay. Talk about their transition game, as good as it is in America.
Well, Zeller just outran everybody, and he was the last guy out and the first big guy to get down the floor. That puts a lot of pressure on your transition defense, Dick.
And I'll tell you one thing, the passing ability of Marshall is off the charts. Had 16 assists in his last game.
And is averaging almost 10 per game on the season. Rivers,
are you serious?
Unbelievably hot early with 8 points already.
He shot that from Cameron Indoor Stadium.
That's a really tough matchup for Harrison Barnes, who's a good defender. But Rivers just ultra quick.
Marshall into the lane, can't finish. Rebound Plumlee.
He's got to learn to be able to finish. He's got to become a little bit better offensive scorer when you look at Marshall.
Remember, Barnes also playing on a bad left ankle. The lob, Plumlee can't finish. Rivers gets it back, and he's everywhere right now for Duke.
One thing, he's playing with that little swag. The definition of swag is sitting to my right. Mr. Billis, the definition of swag.
Well, they had to get the fire marshal in to determine if my swag had fit in here.
I think he's having a tough time.
Austin Rivers, 10 points already. A steal now by Ryan Kelly.
You know, Dan, he said, if you read a quote today, I will make an impact in this game. Did you see that quote?
Austin Rivers you're talking about?
Yeah.
Well, somebody said, you know, Harrison Barnes will be a tough matchup for you, and Austin Rivers said, you know, I plan on being a tough matchup for him as well, or something to that extent. Austin Rivers is not lacking in confidence, as his dad, Doc, looks on from here in Chapel Hill.
Well, one thing North Carolina has to do a better job of in this game. They want to get out in transition, but they have to do a better job with ball screens.
Timeout on the floor. Multiple subs coming in. Great start in this game with Duke up by 5 early. Welcome back to Chapel Hill. Wednesday nights presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. All a part of rivalry week here on ESPN. What a great rivalry we've got for you. Duke and Carolina, with Duke leading by 5 early. Dan Shulman, Dick Vitale, Jay Billis. This is Dick's 40th Duke-Carolina game that he's broadcast. Jay, of course, played in the rivalry, coached in the rivalry, and has broadcast in the rivalry as well. What does this mean to you guys?
Well, you know, I think about the rivalry. I think about these things. I think about 9 NBA and 9 NCAA titles. I think about 36 ACC championships, 33 Final Fours, 22 Player of the Years. I mean, those are facts. That's not hype, baby. Jay, you were part of it.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think this rivalry has always been about excellence. Usually when these teams play, national implications are in it. National title implications, ACC championships. It's always been played at a really high level, and the start of this game is no exception.
Let me ask you, you played on the very first game ever on this floor. Both teams were undefeated. What was it like all day on the campus and coming into a game like this?
Well, there was a lot of excitement until I realized I had to guard Brad Daugherty the whole game. It wasn't very exciting.
Nice feed inside. James Michael McAdoo in off the Carolina bench can't finish. It's not a very deep Carolina team. Of course, Leslie McDonald's been out for the season. Now Dexter Strickland has torn his ACL. He's out for the rest of the season. They really only go 7 deep, and we see both McAdoo and P.J. Hairston in off the Carolina bench.
Tell you one thing, though, all 7 of McDonald's All-Americans.
How about Andre Dawkins off the Duke bench? It's an 8-0 run for Duke, and they are knocking down their threes.
Well, that's a defensive mistake by North Carolina. You can't let a guy like Andre Dawkins shoot it from the same spot from which he catches it.
Tell you one thing, Jay, he is really a key player. He's making shots. He has some bad games, but he's had some monster games.
Quinn Cook, Miles Plumlee into the game for Duke as we check in with Aaron Andrews.
Well, Dan, Harrison Barnes on the bench right now for North Carolina. You guys talked about the matchup, him against Austin Rivers, and of course Austin Rivers scoring 10 points on him. That ankle that you mentioned, a big concern for North Carolina. Roy Williams telling us today he won't be 100% for a while. He did play well in the game against Maryland, and I talked to him when he was warming up tonight, Dan, and he said, I just need the adrenaline to get me through this thing tonight.
What a poor job defensively right there by Duke on the out-of-bounds play. Allowed an easy layup. That has been their really Achilles heel this year, Jay, defending.
McAdoo the basket to make it a 6-point game. Duke is last in the ACC in opponents' field goal percentage.
Wow, how rare is that? 43% team shoot against Duke.
Reggie Bullock taking on Austin Rivers now. That's probably a better matchup for North Carolina.
Rivers a miss. He's got 10 early points. Roy Williams says Bullock is their best perimeter on-ball defender.
He's been great the last 4 games. He's really shut off the #1 perimeter guy for the last 4 opponents.
Zeller, nice rotation on the jumper, and he's off to a great start with 9.
He's really a special player. He scores, Jay said, runs the court exceptionally well. Also brilliant academically. His whole family.
Dawkins misses the 3, long rebound, and a foul going against the Blue Devils. Miles Plumlee.
And I talked about Dawkins earlier. There's been games where he's 1 for 6, 1 for 8. Then he goes off like he did against Michigan State for 26. As you watch Zeller right there at the free throw line, shooting that jumper like Brad Doherty did right in the face of Jay Billis. Oh, no, I didn't say that, Jay.
Well, usually you're not as concerned about John Henson or Tyler Zeller taking jump shots. Zeller can knock that down consistently. Where you're really concerned is getting them down into the low post.
Hairston has not been able to buy a shot in games, has been shooting well in practice. They need a little production in games. And we've got a Duke foul underneath.
P.J. Hairston has not shot the ball well of late. He's now 6 of his last 34 in ACC play. He's got to start knocking some shots down.
Came in with a big reputation as a shooter, too.
Well, he's going to be a great player, but you know, with some of their numbers problems now that Dexter Strickland and Leslie McDonald are out for the year, you know, it means that P.J. Hairston is going to have to play some extended minutes.
Barnes back in for Bullock. Zeller at the line, already to double figures with 10 points. Make it 11, and Jay, I know you love this. His averages are great. They're even better in ACC play. Scoring up 2.5 points per game, rebounding up as well.
Dan, he's been the best player in the league since ACC play started. If you handed out a player of the year, it would go to Tyler Zeller. I don't think there's a question about it.
The only one I'd challenge you with that, Jay, Michael Scott of Virginia. He's been terrific in Virginia.
He has been really good.
Ryan Kelly the basket, Jay. I know you think he's a real key for Duke.
Well, I think Kelly's a key because he's the one guy on Duke's roster in their front court that can pull John Henson away from the basket. And in my judgment, John Henson is the guy that makes North Carolina's defense special because of his shot blocking and shot changing ability.
Tell you one thing, guys. I saw the best shot blocker I've seen in many a year. Maybe Odin, maybe Ewing, and Anthony Davis last night. Unbelievable.
Kentucky, another impressive win, knocking off Florida last night. McAdoo, no. Rebound Duke.
You know, just like Kentucky, I feel, Jay, I don't know about you, but with a front court like North Carolina and Kentucky, if you don't make the threes, you really are for a long night.
Kelly makes a 3.
He can really stretch the floor, and that opens up the floor for drives.
Put it down. I told you they're going to make 10 to win.
Duke is 4 for 8 already from three-point range, but Carolina with the answer at the other end. The basket for Marshall. Not this time for Dawkins.
I mean, Duke allows too much penetration. Marshall goes right to the goal. Nobody rotates over. Oh, wow. Jay, if he starts making that shot, he goes off the charts.
And this is a pace that North Carolina wants. A quick shot, and they come down and get a quick and easy one.
Well, as you said earlier, Duke wants to make it a half-court game.
Well, if you want to make it a half-court game, your offense has to help your defense. That means good shots, no turnovers.
Curry with Duke's 5th 3 of the game already.
That trifecta can change a game. It can certainly negate a great front court.
Out of bounds, Carolina ball. More subs coming. A frenetic pace to begin this game. Rivers and Mason Plumlee back in for Duke. Zeller and Bullock back in for Carolina.
You know, Jay, we never played in a game Dan and I, we never played even YMCA, but you did. I'm going to tell you this. You didn't know I did my research. You were the blender when I did the games. As he makes an open jumper, Henson, that's big. But you had 2 double-doubles against this club. Did you know that? 17 and 12, 12 and 11. I don't want to tell you this. Can Jay hear me now?
No, not at all.
I don't want to tell you. First time he played against North Carolina?
Yeah.
Got beat by 31.
Well, that Jordan guy was pretty good.
You didn't guard him, did you?
Kelly. And a miss from the corner. Duke has taken 15 shots. 11 of them have been three-point attempts.
I'm not shocked. See, that was the plan for Florida yesterday. What John Calipari's plan was to pressure the shooters and make them have to drop.
See if North Carolina posts Harrison Barnes, because he had Thornton on him. Austin Rivers just switched off. He's got a size advantage.
Hey, what in Boston will be play a lot better defense as played.
Mr. Zeller, rebound Mason Plumlee. He's become one of the best rebounders in the country.
I saw Rivers in high school. He was off the charts. And I'm telling you this now, he's starting to feel it. His game has changed in his last 6 games.
Curry misses the elbow jumper.
Look at Zeller run. Beats everybody down the floor.
Henson baseline jumper. Yes!
It's amazing. You watch him hit that jump shot. Yeah, you put him on a free throw line, and it's a nightmare. Flat out nightmare.
These two teams are on the pace to get well into the 80s, maybe the 90s in points tonight.
It's fun to say. I get tired of his 48, 47 games.
Mason Plumlee, the weak side offensive rebound, trying to back down Zeller, and he'll score over him.
He's at 9 double-doubles this year. Henson leads the ACC with 10. Zeller has 9 as well.
Plumlee is a much improved player down in the low post. I mean, that was a left-handed hook, well executed.
Henson in and out, rebound Zeller. Finally puts up the jumper. Doesn't get the bounce, and Mason Plumlee yet another board.
North Carolina is such an outstanding offensive rebounding team. They score almost 17 points a game off of second shots.
Duke got off to an early start thanks to Austin Rivers. They have held the lead throughout as Curry gets to the glass and lays it in.
Nice drive by Curry. Nobody rotated over. I think both clubs got a long way to go defensively.
Marshall inside, rejected by Plumlee.
Great job rotating over. See, that's the edge I give Kentucky. Kentucky is unbelievable defensively.
Anthony Davis of Kentucky just covers up the basket from 15 feet in.
Plumlee's already got 4 points, 4 rebounds, and a couple of blocks in this game.
Well, the key's been the start of this guy right here offensively.
Rebound Zeller on the miss by Rivers. Henson. Offensive foul. Past the midway point of the first half here with the Dean Dome in Chapel Hill. It is the Duke Blue Devils coming off a loss to Miami on the weekend, leading early, thanks in part to the play of Mason Plumlee at both ends of the court.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the perfect combination of chocolate and peanut butter, and in part by Craftsman. Trust in your hands, and Toyota.
Welcome to the ACC on ESPN. We're here inside the Dean Smith Center in Chapel Hill with the Duke Blue Devils shooting a ton of threes, have the lead early, up 27-21. Jay, how are they getting such good looks from outside the arc?
Well, I think North Carolina's giving Duke a little bit too much space. They've got to take that space away. You can see Harrison Barnes guarding the quickness of Austin Rivers. He backs up, taking away the drive, gives up a shot. And here Ryan Kelly being guarded by John Henson. Henson's not used to guarding that far out, and Kelly kind of a Euro big. You know, a guy who can really stretch the floor. And here a double down, double pin down. And you can see Andre Dawkins is able to shoot the ball from the same spot he catches it. P.J. Harrison's got to get through that screen and make him put the ball on the floor. If a guy like Seth Curry or Austin Rivers or especially Dawkins is able to catch and shoot, that's where they can be devastating.
Into the game now for North Carolina is Stillman White, a freshman from Wilmington, Carolina, guarding the point. He's generally just been getting a minute or two each half to give Kendall Marshall a breather since the injury to Dexter Strickland. They don't have another option really as a two-point guard. Cook driving on him, pull-up jumper is good.
Wow, there's Cook with that little baseline jumper. I personally think, even though they're winning, great pass, great look by White, but I think they're shooting the ball too quickly. I think the tempo, even though they're down 8 right now, I think the tempo is what North Carolina likes.
This is the way North Carolina wants to play, but when Duke has openings, they're trying to take them. And boy, how about that pass ahead by Stillman White?
Yeah, terrific. Maybe he's really becoming contagious watching Marshall.
And again, Zeller running the floor, as Jay and Dick have pointed out already tonight. He's a free throw shooter as well. Second foul on Miles Plumlee. He heads to the bench. Ryan Kelly returns.
You know, Duke coming off that loss to Miami. Reggie Johnson dominated him inside, had 27 and 12. In fact, they have lost their last 2 home games in the ACC to Miami, Florida State, and that wasn't in football.
How about Florida State losing tonight at Boston College? A shocker there. Cook. And a rebound down to McAdoo.
I think they're shooting the ball too quickly, Jay. I really do.
Well, they didn't make North Carolina guard on that possession. And North Carolina's going to go right inside. That's where they're so
Score
good.
the basket.
15 points for Tyler Zeller.
I'll tell you, Dan, a young big guy should watch Tyler Zeller and how he plays. He is going to make a lot of money and play for a long time at the next level for one reason more than anything else. I mean, he's very, very skilled, but because he runs. That young man is relentless running the court.
Yeah, he really is. He's got great drop steps inside, good foot movement. His brother's going to make a lot of money, too.
No question.
Cook again. Lost it. And it'll be Duke ball when we come back after this timeout. These two great rivals going at it back and forth with Duke leading Carolina by 4. Just a shocker, a Florida State team, guys, as you well know, that has defeated both North Carolina and Duke, and they lose to Boston College, a team now near the bottom of the ACC standings. That really changes things for these two teams.
Well, if you want to win the ACC, you got to beat Boston College. I mean, they blew out North Carolina by 33.
Curry for 3. That is Duke's 6th of the night in 13 attempts.
I'll tell you one thing, they better cover those three-point shooters, Jay. They're not covering them at all.
Well, he just did a great job of moving without the ball. He was down on the baseline. He had 2 different screens to come off of, came right up the middle.
Offensive rebounding again. I think Henson will get credit for it.
And that's their strength. As Jay said earlier, they lead right now the nation in rebounding. Unbelievable, plus 11.
And North Carolina's baskets are easier. You know, they're closer, they're higher percentage, and you wonder, is Duke going to be able to keep up this shooting? Because North Carolina is going to be able to keep up getting it inside.
Well, they had a turnover. Nobody went to the ball. Cook has it. Kelly follows. That'll be out of bounds to Duke. NBA Friday on ESPN is a great doubleheader. Coverage starts at 7:30 Eastern with the PA NBA Countdown. Then it's the Lakers and the Knicks and their new sensation, Jeremy Lin in the backcourt, followed by the Thunder and Jazz at 10:30. NBA Friday on ESPN. Tough assignment tonight, Jay, for Harrison Barnes with a sprained ankle. As Rivers misses a 3, and Barnes, no matter who he's covering, it's going to be somebody smaller and quicker than he is.
You know, he's got great range, Rivers. That was a bad shot. That was a bad shot, Jay.
They shot it on the same side. I mean, they didn't move the defense at all. And so North Carolina really didn't have to guard on that possession.
Zeller keeping Carolina in the game early. Misses the left-handed hook. Henson the rebound. Zeller, couple of opportunities. And now it's out of bounds to Duke as it went behind the backboard.
Well, actually, Bullock stepped out.
Oh, Bullock stepped out.
In.
Thank you. But boy, Mike Krzyzewski can't be happy with 4 or 5 opportunities on the offensive glass for the Heels.
Well, that was a problem with him against, you looked at Miami. Miami had 38 points in the paint and dominated them inside.
Plumlee calling for it, one-on-one with Zeller.
So I think you got to challenge the shooters. They're wide open.
Kelly way short on the 3.
You got to really challenge them and put the ball on the floor a little bit. That's the one area North Carolina has not really improved on. Really good perimeter defense.
Barnes driving on Curry, got him in the air, and draws the foul.
Terrific big-time move right there. High school superstar, came out of Iowa. His club's loaded with McDonald's high school All-Americans.
One thing you want to try to take away from Harrison Barnes is a 1-dribble or 2-dribble pull-up. That's where he's at his most efficient. If you can make him dribble it 4 or 5 times, you got a shot. but he's a terrific jump shooter.
And he really creates great space with that one dribble. He has a great first step move.
That was his first point of the night, guys.
He's really been more aggressive this year. He's getting to the free throw line more often, and that's really been a difference in this game. North Carolina's getting to the free throw line. Duke's hitting threes. In North Carolina, if they continue to attack and keep getting the ball inside, they're going to continue to shoot free throws.
Yeah, I really firmly believe. I think the tempo's North Carolina's way. I think Duke's got to be a little bit more selective in their shots. Here comes the North Carolina faithful.
Dawkins, another three. 7 threes for Duke already in this game.
Well, you can't go under that screen. P.J. Hairston went under the screen. He's inviting that shot.
Marshall to Zeller. Another offensive rebound, another tap. Henson again. Finally, Rivers out of the pack.
He's rebounding really well for Gordis.
And Rivers called for the charge.
Little let it go. You're right, Jay. You try to teach kids to go over the top of the screen, or at worst, go third man, slide. You go fourth man, you're dead.
Yeah, even if you go third man with a catch-and-shoot guy like Andre Dawkins, you're probably going to get hurt. You have to chase him off that three-point line. Andre Dawkins off the drive. You want that.
Exactly.
You know, if he shoots it from the same spot he catches it, he's going to make it most of the time.
Yeah, if I was playing against him, I want to be right up in his face and say, you're going to drive with that basketball.
Now the game playing out statistically as many thought it would have, but to an extreme. Carolina dominating on the glass and getting to the line. Duke relying heavily on threes so far. Zeller inside. 17 points for Zeller.
Tell you one thing, Jay. He must love playing with Marshall.
Who wouldn't? I mean, he makes such great, like that was a great catch.
It was.
And shows a lot of touch to be able to finish that so gracefully.
And Marshall's already got 6 assists in this game, averages almost 10 per. Nice look from Rivers to Dawkins. And the rebound to Henson.
North Carolina might have gotten a little lucky there. You can't leave Andre Dawkins.
Especially when he's in a rhythm shooting the ball.
Justin Watson again for Carolina, number 24, slipping to the goal. Henson has it rejected. Zeller with the follow, 19 in the game.
What a night for Zeller, baby. The Big Z responded to the big challenge. And there is no rivalry better than this one, my friends. Dan and JB, this is absolutely the best. Uno number 1. Rivers trying to beat him off the mat.
Yeah, he's calling for the ball screen.
Floater off the side of the backboard, but a foul is called on North Carolina. Marshall, yeah, coming over to help. That'll be his second. Timeout on the floor. What a great game we've got going on here in Chapel Hill. And what a great night Tyler Zeller is having. He averages 15 a game. He's got 19 and 7 rebounds already in the first half, keeping Carolina in it against Duke. Here in Chapel Hill, now a 3-point lead for the Duke Blue Devils as Austin Rivers knocks down the first. Rivers is a freshman. This is his first game in this rivalry. Carolina will be at Duke on the final Saturday of the regular season. Jay, what's it like for a freshman when you play in your first Carolina Duke game?
Well, you would think it would be overwhelming, but Austin Rivers comes from a basketball family. His father, Doc, is the head coach of the Boston Celtics, so he's grown up around the game.
Nice look. Henson can't finish, but we've got a foul. What a great feed from Zeller. Here's Doc Rivers.
I mean, I spoke to Doc recently, and he told me he's so pleased with the development of his son. He said really going to a program where he's learning how to play without the ball, how to defend, how to make passes, how to do things. He said he could have went to a lot of schools, put a lot of points on the board, but would not develop as the player that he's becoming.
Henson, under 50% on the season shooting free throws, knocks down the first. He's 44% to be exact. And Henson reached back and kind of, I don't know if it was playfully or not, shoved the arm of Tyler Thornton out of the way. Maybe Thornton was saying something to him as Henson was getting ready to take a shot.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of talk.
Yeah.
Well, looked pretty good on those two.
Yeah, a little bit of talk from Henson after he knocks down a pair.
He's known to be able to His sister, by the way, goes to Duke.
That's right. Turnover, Duke.
Put a little pressure on the ball.
The 233rd meeting all time between these two great programs. Carolina leading 131 to 101. Duke has won 4 of the last 5, and they've won 8 of the last 13 here in Chapel Hill.
Trying to get some space, go a one-on-one.
Plumlee knocks it away from Zeller.
Did a great job right there with that deflection.
You just have to make a quicker move when you get it in there.
Seems like North Carolina's going to do a better job. They're going to match up on these perimeter shooters.
What do you tell?
Henson with Kelly. Interesting matchup. Kelly likes to shoot the 3.
Plumlee and Zeller battling all night long. The kick to Dawkins, and he will shoot 3 free throws after the foul by P.J. Hairston.
Well, Andre Dawkins did a really good job of selling that call, but there was contact, and P.J. Hairston trying to take that shot away. You have to put late pressure on it. Once he goes up, the last thing you can do is foul him. I mean, the contact was light, but Dawkins was smart enough to react to it and sell the call. That's part of the game.
Did a great job right there after.
I've always found three-point shooters to be like punters. You touch them and they go down like there's a sniper in the building. Yeah, they're trying to get the flag.
Here comes Desmond Huber, 6'9" freshman from Creamridge, New Jersey. Does not play much at all for Carolina, just to give Zeller a bit of a breather.
Tell you one thing, North Carolina has been really tough on this floor. Have not lost here since February of 2009. 31 in a row. Kentucky has the lead with 49 in a row.
That's a school record home court winning streak for Carolina. 31 in a row at home. 30 of them here. One of them at Carmichael. Huber, look to Henson.
Nice passing of basketball. Good interior passing. Finding the open man.
Well, they switched to back pick, and North Carolina just took total advantage. That's the kind of pass that shouldn't get through, but did.
Plumlee, a lot of room down there. Rivers was standing out of bounds when he caught the pass in the corner.
Tell you one thing, Jay. If the North Carolina kids will buy into playing good perimeter defense, they'll win the national title.
I agree.
And that is exactly what's happened to Kentucky. They have bought into Calipari's system.
Agreed.
More college hoops comes your way Saturday here on ESPN at 6 Eastern. A Big Ten battle as number 12 Michigan State faces number 3 Ohio State. And then Saturday primetime presented by DirecTV. Kentucky is in Vanderbilt, all a part of Rivalry Week here on ESPN.
And we'll be down there a little bit Nashville, country western style. You like country western, right?
I'm mostly pleased I said Rivalry.
That was very, very good.
Very good.
As you noticed, I was a little bit methodical getting through. Not quite fluid.
You are Mr. Fluidity.
Well, Sean McDonough set a very high standard for sound earlier this week. Zeller. Henson, the offensive rebound, taken away by Rivers, who's really having some kind of a night so far.
North Carolina dominating on the glass. Something we expected.
Boy, that's a big foul on Kendall Marshall right there.
His second. Let's go to Aaron Andrews.
Dan, we noticed when John Henson was on the free throw line, kind of swatted back at Tyler Thornton, who, after the timeout, really started to talk a little bit to the Duke players and to his teammates as well. An official just went over to Kendall Marshall and Thornton and said, knock it off.
All right, Aaron, thank you. Tyler Thornton he won't back down from anybody. Got a lot of toughness in him as Kelly is called for the offensive foul.
Yeah, he was out of control right there on a drive to the goal.
I'll tell you, I'd be surprised if there's a big guy in the country that's taken as many charges as Tyler Zeller has. He's an outstanding help defender that is almost always in the right position.
2 on Kelly, guys. He goes to the bench, maybe for the rest of the half to protect him. Miles Plumlee has 2 as well as he comes back in.
You know what Zeller really is? He's a great teammate. He really is. He'll do anything to win a basketball game.
Marshall with 6 assists, hits Barnes, misses the shot. Zeller crashes the boards and is fouled on the floor by Mason Plumlee.
I'm telling you one thing, they are dominating with the offensive glass. And on the offensive glass right now, they got like a 3-to-1 ratio against Duke, and that means you're playing aggressive basketball.
Yeah, it's not like they're going up against bad rebounders now. Miles and Mason Plumlee are good rebounders, and Tyler Zeller and John Henson have dominated the glass. They've owned it.
Well, Mike Krzyzewski said there were 3 keys in his mind for Duke tonight. One of them was keeping Carolina off the offensive glass. They have not done that. One of them was hitting threes. They have done that.
Stop the transition.
And the other was transition. How do you think they've done there?
Fairly well, not great. But when you put it through the net, that helps a lot. I mean, you cannot turn the ball over, and you cannot take quick or bad shots against North Carolina. They turn it into layups on the other end with the way they run.
Plumlee, good deep position on Henson. He traveled.
He definitely lifted up his pivot foot in that post area.
Well, the threat of a shot block by John Henson caused that travel.
Let's look at Mike. I never saw him so upset after a win as he was when he beat St. John's. He said it felt like a loss.
He has not been very happy with his team the last couple of weeks.
He's not happy with their leadership.
What a great move. See, I think he can post more. Harrison Barnes is so talented. He's terrific off the dribble, an outstanding jump shooter. But when they screen him into the low post, I'm not sure that there's a guard on this Duke team that can handle him down in the block.
See, I don't think there are many guards in America that can handle him down there. He has great ball fakes, great head fakes, but he doesn't go down there enough. He should invert a little bit more.
And some foul trouble for Duke. That is the 3rd on Dawkins. Miles Plumlee, Seth Curry, and Ryan Kelly all have 2.
They'll be shooting 2 the rest of the half.
And this is where the pace that North Carolina plays at really can take a toll. At some point, they're going to wear you out and foul you out. And that's a strategy that Roy Williams has used forever. He wants to play even faster than this. This isn't fast enough for him.
Here comes the crowd as Carolina has tied it.
The 3-point shot has saved the Duke in this game. So he's trying to challenge him more. Make him change line.
Bullock's doing a really nice job on Austin Rivers. He's been the best matchup North Carolina's had on him.
Yeah, he's really working hard. Very tenacious. Oh, Lord, he's at something on the score on top of him.
And now Bullock called for the foul as he and Rivers get tangled up. Rivers and Henson a little bumped. Everybody trying to act innocent here, but it's getting a little bit chippy.
Tell you one thing, this rivalry got really in gear years ago, man. About 50 years ago when Larry Brown, Donnie Walsh were rejected along with Art Heyman. Bucky Waters told me that story.
You know, if I were Roy Williams, I might take John Henson out of the game right now just because it seems like the referees have been eyeing him. You know, when he tried to get to his teammates there, he basically tried to walk through the referees. And it might be a good idea to get him out so he doesn't pick up a foul.
I agree with you. I'll tell you what else. I think he's creating the odds looking at him by some of the talking he's doing on the floor.
Oh, he's the one creating.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting the referees have anything out for him. He's creating the issue.
One of the officials, Tim Nestor, pulled Henson aside after Henson swatted at Thornton a few minutes ago and tried to calm him down. And that was several minutes ago.
Being emotional is one thing. Playing hard and intense. You're going and worrying about.
Right back into the game to the point for Carolina. And a block on Josh Hairston, who has just checked in for Duke. 2 free throws coming.
He stepped out. I don't know how he thinks he can get away with that. It's an obvious foul. 40 feet from the goal.
Well, you got both coaches, Jay, trying to protect some players here because of foul trouble late in the first half.
It's just smart. In this last 43 seconds, you just don't want to have one of your mainstays pick up a cheap one.
Tell you, Jay, the one mainstay they cannot replace, Marshall. They have no replacement for Marshall.
That's exactly right.
He wears one contact. He said he's going to have to wear another. He said, I don't have good vision.
But by fouling there, Duke basically gave North Carolina 2 for 1 to end the half. And they also have the ball to start the second half.
Despite Duke shooting well from the 3, Carolina has caught it and has taken the lead.
First lead of the night for the Heels.
I firmly believe, Jay, I don't know if you agree or not, I think 1-7, North Carolina is the most talented team in America.
I think it's Kentucky, but it's a close call. It's a close call. Duke's going to try to take this all the way down and try to limit the chances of North Carolina taking it the other end.
Cook to Kelly. 5 to shoot. Cook the spin. Blocked by Zeller.
Why not? He's done everything else.
3-on-1. Boaz with the layup.
That's Carolina basketball. Run, baby, run. Run, baby, run. Oh, the Carolina people love it. They love it.
North Carolina surging at the end of the first half, catching Duke, and going into the break with a 3-point lead in this top 10 matchup. As Duke tried to work the clock down as far as they could. Zeller rejects Cook. Rivers lost the handle, and then vintage Carolina on the transition.
Off the block shot, off the turnover, they are lethal.
Just a terrific pass by Harrison Barnes. Mike Krzyzewski was asking for a shot clock violation, but Carolina had possession before it went to 0.
What a first half for Zeller. 19 points and 8 rebounds. Carolina leads Duke by 3. Let's join Ryan Burr and Jimmy Dykes in the studio for the UPS halftime report.
This game is streaming live on your computer, tablet, or smartphone via WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app.
Welcome back to Wednesday Night Hoops. Presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, all a part of rivalry week here on ESPN. Welcome back to coverage of the ACC on ESPN. And what a good one we've got going here tonight as we head to the second half. Duke and North Carolina. Duke led almost the entire first half, and Carolina closed the half on a 14-5 run. They lead by 3. Dan Shulman, Nick Vitale, Jay Billis, what you think?
Well, I think it's inside versus outside. Started off the game, Duke making those threes, knocked down 7, Jay, but it's been the dominance inside, and Zeller's been off the charts.
Zeller had 19 points, 8 rebounds, 4 of them offensive. North Carolina's dominated the glass, and they've gotten the pace they have wanted, and they've dominated points in the paint with 20.
Got a little bit of foul trouble for Mike Krzyzewski's team as well. Andre Dawkins, who knocked down a couple of threes in the first half, has 3. 3 other Blue Devils have 2. Yes, Duke is a little bit deeper than Carolina, but they've got some foul trouble to deal with as well. Austin Rivers very good in the first half.
You know, Dan, if I were right now, North Carolina, whoever Marshall plays, I would attack him off the bench. He's got 2. They cannot afford to lose him.
Kelly inside, knocked away. Zeller comes up with a loose ball. Here come the Heels.
A nice rotation by Marshall defensively.
6 assists, no turnovers in the first half for Marshall as well. Tough shot by Henson. Duke will give him that.
And an adjustment defensively for North Carolina. They put Reggie Bullock on Rivers. And now Harrison Barnes is guarding Curry. That's a better matchup for North Carolina.
Rivers really got started with a fury here tonight when Barnes was on him at 10 points in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game.
You know, he had 10 in the first 3 minutes, and then he ended up with only 3 the rest of the half.
Zeller the rebound on the miss by Kelly.
Game has come down to shooting the threes for Duke and the inside attack for North Carolina, where they dominate on that baseline.
Marshall. And Rivers the loose ball. Carolina has not made a 3 in this game. Duke's made 7. Almost an 8th right there. Rebound Henson.
North Carolina leads the nation in rebounding, plus 11. They score 40% on missed shots, offensive rebounds.
Barnes with the mid-range jumper. That's his first field goal of the night.
Well, that is a big-time move. The step-back jumper. That was pretty.
And the lead has grown to 5. Kelly lays it in.
He's got to start giving him some offense.
Duke likes to isolate him on the side. That's exactly what they did on the right elbow, where he can face up and drive.
Barnes again, trying to back down Curry. Little help by Kelly. The jumper short. And here comes Duke 2-on-1. Curry crowd wanted to travel as he misses the three.
It was amazing. 2-on-1, and he flared out to shoot the three rather than get the lane.
How basketball has changed, huh, Jay?
Nice move.
Marshall draws the foul. Let's check in with Aaron Andrews.
Dan and I checked in with Roy Williams on the way out of halftime. He said the thing he was happiest with his team is the fact they hung in there, they continue to compete. Biggest adjustment, you guys have been mentioning it here in the second half, they have to get a hand up. They have to guard the three-point line better. And he did address the chippiness, the chatter on the court. He said in so many ways, and I'm cleaning it up, stop it.
Well, and Roy's as clean as it gets, too, when you talk about a coach in terms of the words that he used. But he's gotten on his team. Remember that 90-57 loss, Dick, that we did at Florida State? He was not happy with them, obviously.
Not at all.
Most lopsided loss under Williams at Carolina. Said he thought, with the exception of Zeller, the rest of them walked out on the court and figured they could just win because they're Carolina. They've played better since. They got humbled.
Never played with any pride or passion.
Lovely strong move, but couldn't finish.
He's got to finish that play. You get to the basket like that, you got to finish.
Look at the pace. Look at the finish for Marshall.
I tell you, when Marshall starts finishing in transition, takes him to another level. Mr. Billis, let me ask you this, Mr. Billis. I heard Dan just talk about Roy doesn't get a little excited. Did you ever have to listen to Mr. Krzyzewski get a little bit firm with you?
A few times. Both these coaches can get firm, but you know what they really wanted their teams to compete, and I think both teams have competed. But North Carolina's had the upper hand on the competition scale in this one.
The lead grows to 8. The foul on Curry, his third. This is the largest lead of the night for North Carolina.
Tempo, tempo, tempo. We said when they were down 8, the tempo favored North Carolina.
Well, what a job by Bullock to make that catch on the handoff really difficult for Rivers.
Rivers right into the chin of Zeller for the basket.
That was a big-time score right there because Bullock played him as tough as you can play a play.
Kelly defending Zeller right now. Plumlee's on Henson. Now they switch, and Henson knocks down the jumper.
Tell you one thing, they'll allow him to shoot that jumper. Even though that went down, Jay, they'll allow him to shoot that 17-footer.
And when you got your 2 7-footers ball screening for one another, that's pretty hard to guard.
Henson now with a dozen men at the rim. Rivers is by Henson and Zeller.
So don't come in the lane, baby.
And dominating on the glass. Too many opportunities for the Heels.
Offensive rebound is really a big key.
A great start in the second half for Carolina. A 3-point lead at halftime has grown to 10. Here in the Dean Dome early in the second half. North Carolina starts the second half on an 11-4 run. The lead is now 10. Saturday Showcase on ESPN. More college hoops coming your way at noon Eastern. Louisville will take on West Virginia. And it will be Duke and Maryland at 4 Eastern. Saturday Showcase on ESPN. Duke and Carolina here, a part of rivalry week. Jay Billis, Dick Vitale, Aaron Andrews. And Dan Shulman as Duke turns it over again.
Sloppy. I think North Carolina's doing a better job, Jay, guarding the three-point line, as Aaron Andrews said. They've really come out with a little purpose there on the three.
And Harrison Barnes did a really nice job on Seth Curry, making it difficult for him to come off either of those screens he was getting on the baseline in order to make a catch. He basically denied him from catching it.
You know, I'm watching Marshall right now, Dan, and also, Jay, how do you rate him with Lawson and Felton, great point guards at North Carolina?
Well, I think both Lawson and Felton overall were probably better because their ability to score and shoot the ball. Marshall is not an offensive player, but as far as speed, they're faster with the ball. But I'll tell you what, Marshall, his ability to pass ahead makes him special because that ball moves faster than the dribble.
And also defensively, I think both guys had a big edge on Marshall.
We saw Phil Ford there, an all-time Carolina great.
Nobody had an edge on Phil Ford.
Yeah. He was the best. He was the best. Absolutely sensational, man. Trust me, I had to try to defend him with Detroit. I picked up a handkerchief out of my pocket and I waved when they went to the 4 corners. Oh, forget about it. They had no shot.
Nothing inspires a team like its coach waving the handkerchief.
Oh, my God, tell the truth.
In and out for Miles Plumlee.
Try to guard him. He penetrates, gives it the rope to Davis, or comes up. Dunk City.
I really like the adjustment that Roy Williams made, putting Reggie Bullock on Austin Rivers.
Timeout on the floor with Carolina leading by 10. This is Dick Vitale's 40th Duke-Carolina game. When we come back, he'll tell you the top 3 in his mind that he's done in this rivalry.
The free throw line comes back to be an Achilles heel.
Ram Jam Slam! Bam! No, are you serious? What a night! What a night!
Don't worry, Mrs. Montross, it'll be okay.
Oh, it's over, baby! That's one of the few times they ever rushed the court, Jay, at North Carolina when they beat that great Duke team, give them their first loss with that big trio, Mr. Leitner, Hurley, and Hill.
Foul on Bullock on the drive by Rivers.
Were you here then? You were on the bench, right?
Yeah, I was an assistant coach.
Coach then, yeah. What was the locker room like?
Down.
As a Duke player, Jay, did this game mean significantly more than games against any of the other great programs in the ACC?
There's no question about it. I mean, I think it's a measuring stick for both programs because of the high level of excellence that both have exhibited over time. So there's no question this game meant more to the players, and I think you're measured by how you perform in this game in large part as a player.
You know what's amazing about this rivalry? They've never met in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is amazing.
Met once in a postseason NIT, I believe 71 if I'm not mistaken, but they have never met in the NCAA tournament. Barnes for 3.
Carried up. Great look. Great look. He's got eyes behind his head. How he found balls. Great instincts. He just has a basketball feel. You know, he said after he had 16 assists, guys, the other day, he said, I felt like running over, hugging all my teammates. He said, I felt such a sense of pride.
I think that was the first 3 that North Carolina's hit.
You're right.
Indeed it was, and it's the 7th assist of the night for Kendall Marshall. Carolina on a roll right now. Rivers will try to stem the tide a little bit with a 3.
Why get a wide open look right there? Nobody get up on him?
Well, you can't go underneath those screens and try to meet him on the other end. Yeah, but North Carolina's getting things into paint, and they're getting to the free throw line, and Duke's having to rely on 3-point shots.
Barnes backing down his man and scores. Boy, as you guys said, you'd like to see more of that, huh?
How big time is that, Jay? That's an NBA move right there. Spin in, whirling, in the lane, great body control. There's a guy that did that well here, wore number 23.
Rivers again. Another 3. Austin Rivers with 21 points, 4 for 6 from 3-point range as Doc looks on.
I'll tell you one thing, he's elevated his game.
Barnes. Wow.
We are watching right now. 2 years ago, the #1 high school player in America. Last year rated #1, Mr. Rivers, going head-to-head.
Well, it's been a great individual battle the last few possessions.
Not this time.
You gotta be careful you're not trying to do it all by yourself.
That's exactly right. I was just thinking that same thing.
Zeller double team. And good reaction there. Miles Plumlee got back, recovered, knocked it away, runs the floor, and is fouled by Zeller. But with a good show of sportsmanship, tries to keep Plumlee from injuring himself under the basket.
One of the few times that Duke has been able to beat North Carolina down the floor, and Miles Plumlee, who's an outstanding athlete, is winning the race on that possession.
Yeah, Mike raves about his athleticism. Can really run the court as well. He's had 4 double-doubles this year. Brothers had 9.
He can run a 5-minute mile.
Wow.
He's talked about Brian Zubek, remember a player, a center on the championship team a couple of years ago, who really came on in the second half of his senior season, became a much more effective player, and was a big reason why Duke won the national championship a couple of years ago. And Plumlee and Duke hoping that Miles Plumlee will finish his career in much the same manner as Brian Zubek finished his.
Wow, he runs a 5-minute mile. I run a 5-minute 100-yard dash.
One thing that North Carolina's done a pretty good job on. They really haven't turned the ball over much. They turned it over that last possession. That was just their 5th turnover, I believe.
Marshall inside with the layup.
He's having his way. Duke does not guard the basketball. They allow too much penetration. Duke teams in the past really suffocated you. But let's be real. They lost Singler. They lost Nolan Smith. That's not an excuse. That's a fact. Kyrie Irving.
First overall pick. Not only the ability of those players, but also the experience and leadership of guys like Smith and Singler. Cook takes the bump and will draw the foul.
I mean, they've won 19 games, Shea, but the one thing I see lacking when you see Duke, they don't have a superstar.
Saturday Showcase on ESPN as more great rivalry games from the college basketball landscape. At noon Eastern will be Louisville taking on West Virginia, and then at 4 Eastern, Duke is back home against Maryland. Saturday Showcase on ESPN.
You know, Jay, you can take that point up a little further, but over the years in covering Duke, I'm doing this 33 years now, man, almost as old as you are, but the bottom line is they've always had a star, always had a superstar. I mean, Rivers has the potential to be one, but he's a 16-point scorer. They don't have that kind of play.
Yeah, and they don't have a guy who's a three-man that Krzyzewski can move around on the court, like a Battier or Grant Hill, somebody that he's referred to in the past as like having a queen on a chessboard.
Hairston. This is the three. Zeller crashing the boards again. Henson has the loose ball. And again he's got it.
Can't give this stuff 3 shots. Can't give it 3 shots. They get 40% of their missed shots.
Too easy down the lane for Marshall.
Nobody guards him. Don't stay in front of him. He is having a field day. He's doing anything he wants, Dan Schulman.
13 points, 7 assists, no turnovers for Kendall Marshall.
He's almost as good as you. Announcer of the year.
Thornton the miss. Tap back out. Ooh, kept the left foot down. Yes, he did. And a block against Henson. His second.
Tell you one thing. Mike Krzyzewski cannot be upset tonight with the effort and energy of his kids. It's just purely a case. I mean, I'll put it blunt. They're being out-talented right now.
Well, we talked about some of the things they don't have, losing Smith, losing Singler. Their leading scorer is a freshman, as we mentioned, Austin Rivers. The last time a freshman led Duke in scoring was a teammate of Jay's, Johnny Dawkins, in 1982-83.
Johnny doing a good job with that Stanford program.
He is. Johnny was a great player. Not a good one, a great one.
Mason Plumlee, quiet so far in the second half.
Good job right there, rotating out to take away the 3.
Curry to Thornton. Thornton to Plumlee, but we've got another foul. It's McAdoo. Roy Williams doesn't like the call, but he's got a lot of other things to be happy about here in the second half. Dan Schulman, Dick Vitale, Jay Billis, Aaron Andrews. Rivalry week on ESPN. Carolina leading by 12. Let's take a look now at tonight's Reese's Perfect Play. Fellas, what do you got?
Well, Duke has done a nice job of getting open threes in this game, especially in the first half. You can see P.J. Hairston going underneath the screen instead of over the top, and that's just too easy for Duke shooters.
Hey, one thing, they get the driving lead. Too many layups, Jay. They're really attacking the rim.
Curry has a chance for a 4-point play.
Tell you one thing, with the 3-point shot and the way the Duke kids can shoot the 3, the game is never out of reach.
That's their 10th 3 of the game, and James Michael McAdoo with a freshman mistake. You want to get pressure on a shot, but you cannot make contact, especially if you're going to let that shot be taken first.
And Curry makes the free throw. All of a sudden, the deficit is down to 8. The crowd's a little bit quieter.
Tell you one thing, if they want to really come back, they're going to start defending. Now you got Rivers playing Marshall. Nobody's been able to check in and stop them from going to the goal.
Barnes going inside with a vengeance here in the second half.
Can't teach that. You talked about it earlier. He would be so much more efficient and effective if you post up a little bit more. Here he is right there. You can't teach that. That's unbelievable.
Well, they're just dominating the paint. I mean, North Carolina's points in the paint are just dwarfing those of Duke, and Duke stayed in this game by virtue of the 3-point shot, and North Carolina also dominating the glass. Well, that's not a good foul by Harrison Barnes.
Oh, that's silly. 80 feet from the goal, you can know better than that. Second year playing.
Third on Barnes.
Pick up your 3rd foul. Now he's going to go to the bench.
And 17 fouls already committed this half by Carolina. Duke's going to spend a lot of time at the free throw line.
You got to be cerebral on the court, too. You got to play with, understand score, time, what's happening. Hey, one common denominator in Duke's losses. You ready for this? Ohio State shot 59.3 against them. Temple shot 56.4. Florida State shot 54.
Carolina's close to 50 right now. Big miss on the front end by Curry, who's an 87% free throw shooter.
That's a gimme, man. When you try to come from behind, you got to make those count.
You know that North Carolina wants to go back inside again. And a hold on Duke as Thornton.
Right now, Thornton defending Barnes. They don't really have a guy, and Thornton's only 6'1". He's tough as nails, but he's only 6'1", trying to defend 6'8" Harrison Barnes.
Well, North Carolina's recognizing the mismatch now, and they're going to it.
You beat me to the punch. I was going to say, they create a lot of mismatches with Barnes. I'll tell you this, though, North Carolina got away from going to zone.
Thornton becomes the fourth Blue Devil to pick up his third foul. Marshall in the paint for a long time, finds Bullock. McAdoo. Too strong, and the rebound down to Mason Plumlee.
No relation to Bob McAdoo. It's a scoring machine.
Well, I think Duke needs to start putting the ball on the deck and start driving. Because they've got North Carolina in the 1-and-1, they've got to put them in a position to foul.
And he's the guy to control. Rivers can try to get the ball down, play right there.
Steal by Barnes.
Great play by Barnes. I'll tell you what, the first 5 minutes he struggled. He has elevated his game.
15 of his 21 points here in the second half. And we're not even 10 minutes in. Rivers for three. Wow, is he shooting it tonight. Austin Rivers with his 5th three of the game. He's got 24 points. God loves what he's seeing. He needs everything he can give him to stay in this game. If you're watching tonight's game in 3D, you already know it's simply the most spectacular viewing experience there is. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out soon. Coming up in the next week, Kentucky and Vanderbilt, Saturday night at 9 Eastern. And then a women's game, Kentucky and Tennessee, Monday at 9 Eastern. Those games also available on ESPN 3D.
Danny, yes, I had a turnover, my friend, a turnover. He's a distant cousin of Bob McAdoo.
We'll forgive you. With the amount of time you've got the rock in your hands, you're entitled. There's a foul on Marshall, his 3rd.
Take him out right now.
I don't think Williams is going to take him out.
10 minutes on the clock. Maybe sit him for about a minute or two.
Again, with the injury to Dexter Strickland, tore his ACL. By the way, surgery tomorrow morning for Strickland, out for the year. They don't really have a lot of options at the point. Stillman White gets a minute or two a game backing up. That's about it. Miles Plumlee comes up with the offensive rebound and draws the foul.
If I'm Duke, I'm recognizing who Marshall's guarding, and I'm going to attack him and attack him and attack him.
I think they've just got to drive it, period. Spread the floor, load up shooters on one side, and drive it. They can ball screen, but they've got to start getting into the lane and putting North Carolina in a position to foul.
Would you say, guys, among the top teams in the country, that Kendall Marshall is the most indispensable player on any one of those teams?
Yes. Yeah, really, no doubt about it. I think
maybe Ricardo Ratliff would be second on that list because Missouri has so little front court size. There's Zeller back into the game.
Well, you're very creative. Look at Strickland right there. Going to go for surgery, wish him the best.
And with Leslie McDonald, who has missed the entire season with a torn ACL. So very little depth for Carolina.
Zeller's
got to watch Henson. Anytime he's on the perimeter, they may look loud.
Zeller some touches. He has not touched the ball much here in the second half. Throw it in the wall.
Along with Plumlee. Jump hook. Got it. Nice call, coach.
Bring the ball into the big guy. I don't know if you guys agree with me. I said this last night, I'll say it again. I think 4 teams are a step above everyone. Ohio State, Kentucky, North Carolina, and certainly Syracuse. I think those 4 are a step above, and then you talk to Missouri.
Rivers no. Plumlee no. Plumlee again. And his foul. Looks like Henson.
Mason Plumlee starting to exert himself on the boards, but single coverage inside, Dick, it's going to be really hard to stop Tyler Zell. He's got such a great jump hook, such a nice touch inside, and you know, he can take a bump and still complete the play.
You know, you got to run at him. You got to double him up. You really got to rotate someone over. Hey, I want to hear if you guys agree about those 4 teams.
Absolutely. I think that's exactly right.
Missouri fans are saying, hey, what do we have to do to get a little low?
I think the size factor. I think playing against North Carolina, matching up with that size would cause a problem. Same with Kentucky.
Kansas nice win at Baylor. They've beaten Baylor twice now this season. The foul not on Henson, on Hairston, his second.
25 for Withey,
wow.
5 for Perry Jones.
A 9-point lead for North Carolina. Just under 9 minutes to play here at the Smith Center in Chapel Hill.
Trying to get a little isolation of the screen. Get the ball slide inside zone.
By the way, our final game day telecast, the last Saturday night of the regular season, a rematch of this game at Cameron Indoor Stadium. That's March the 3rd.
Should have released him, went right to the goal. He had a dunk. He stopped. He hesitated.
Yeah, it looked like he was going for a wide pin down in the corner.
Rivers already a season high 24 points for the freshman. Nobody else has more than 12. Curry with 12. Everybody else in single digits for Duke.
Tell you one thing about Rivers, he's been doing this on a regular basis, though. Really playing well as a player.
Curry inside to Plumlee. Inside, too strong. Boy, Duke has left some available points out there on the court the last few trips. This could be closer.
Well, you have to give credit to John Henson. He changed that shot.
And a foul on Miles Plumlee. Timeout on the floor. Carolina leading by 9.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the perfect combination of chocolate and peanut butter, and in part by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
Let's take a look at how Duke has built its program under Coach K. Brought to you by Craftsman. Originally, there was a headshot of Jay Billis on the left side of the screen, but then order was restored. But 11 Final Fours, and all joking aside, Jay, you were there for some early years. The winning was tough to come by. You were part of that class. Johnny Dawkins, Tommy Amaker, and others. First Final Four in '86. You know what this is all about.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough to build it at the beginning, but I think Coach K, both Coach K and Roy Williams, Dean Smith, have shown an incredible capacity not only to build a program, but to sustain it. And that's really the measure of excellence, is to sustain it over time. And I think both these programs have exhibited that. Sustained excellence over time. It's really been incredible.
Well, you know, it's really unbelievable. Mike Krzyzewski early in his career struggled big time. If you had the social media then and all the radio talk shows, his first 3 years, you might not survive in today's day and age. That's how wacky it is. Thomas deserves a lot of credit.
Hudson looking for help. Backdoor cut. Bullock for the basket.
Nice backdoor cut. Bullock really not scoring much, but he's really working so hard defensively.
And Zeller called for the bump. Remember, it's double bonus the rest of the way. 2 free throws on every foul coming for Duke.
Gonna take a look right here, a little backdoor cut. Right there.
And a really nice finish there by Reggie Bullock. He kept his eyes up, and your eyes make layups.
You know, guys, I had a great talk with Doc Rivers, and he didn't commit either way. My gut feeling is this young guy's not going to leave. I really believe that. I got a funny feeling he's going to stay in school and develop as a player. I really do. A much more complete player.
Boy, he misses a couple. Curry missed the front end a short while ago, and Duke is now just 13 out of 21 from the free throw line.
What about 0 for 6 in overtime against Miami?
That's right.
0 for 6 in overtime?
Lost at home to Miami on Sunday. No basket, foul before the shot.
You know, last, we said earlier, 2 games in a row in the ACC at home when they lose to Florida State and lose to Miami. Now, you expect that, Mr. Billis, in football, not in hoops.
Well, Duke has had a really difficult time throughout the season, but especially tonight, in containing the ball. They've had a really tough time. They're not pushing North Carolina further out on the floor, which has been a hallmark of Duke's defense, and they're certainly not generating any turnovers.
4 on Curry. He goes to the bench. Dawkins back in for Duke.
That's a great point right there, because over the years, and you know that as a former player, they've lived off their defense, creating offensive opportunities and be able to convert. They don't get any of that anymore. Their defense is, they lack athleticism. They don't have that dominant athlete. Saying all that, guys, the 19-foot.
Yeah. Kelly. And he'll draw the foul. We are going to have a lot of free throws over the next 7 minutes and 5 seconds. If it's Zeller, it's his 4th, and it is as we check in with Aaron.
Hey, just to add on that, guys, and what Coach K was telling us earlier before the game, this is such a unique group. And he said our offense really affects our defense because they do believe they should hit every single shot. When they don't make it, he says they're not back in time on defense. He says he's never really had to deal with that before, a different personality.
Thank you. As Kelly knocks down the first. Zeller to the bench, guys. McAdoo back in with 4 fouls now on Zeller.
Well, and it underscores how Duke has to continue to attack off the dribble to put North Carolina in a position to foul, because the free throw line, the most efficient place on a basketball court to score, they've got the fouls in their favor, and they need to exploit that.
And especially the clock stops as well on the free throw line.
10-point game. Duke just hanging around on the edges of this one with only 7 minutes to play. Pull up. Barnes for the rebound and his foul.
I mean, we can't keep saying over and over and over again, just domination on the offensive glass. And for Roy Williams, he has to be ecstatic, because whenever you're going on the offensive boards, whenever you're blocking shots, you force turnovers, that means your kids are playing aggressive basketball.
And with that lineup, it means guards have got to block out. So Harrison Barnes is being matched up with a guard. That's difficult to ask a guard to block out a guy 6'8" and that strong.
Zeller on the bench with 4. The rebounds now 38-27 in favor of North Carolina.
And that margin is what they lead the nation by running.
Kelly. The loose ball bounces to Rivers, and a fresh 35 for Duke.
Tell you one thing, Rivers is not going to back down from anywhere.
He's got to drive it here.
So screen for it. Step out.
Missed 3 by Thornton.
North Carolina did a great job hedging, stepping out on that screen to get the ball out of Rivers' hands.
Yeah, McAdoo guarded that very well. I don't think that was a very good shot by Duke.
Marshall could not get the bounce. Well, even though he's not that quick, he's got a knack of getting where he wants to go with the ball.
Tell you one thing, North Carolina keeping Duke in the basketball game. If they can knock down a couple of threes, it will get a little interesting.
They've knocked down 11 to just 1 for Carolina, so they've outscored them by 30 points on the 3-point line. They're still down 10. Reverse and a foul as well.
That's an old-fashioned 3, my
there you
friend.
Go.
Gonna watch the reverse layup. Gonna utilize the basket to seal off the defense.
McAdoo just got on the high side and allowed him to kind of drop step spin along the baseline. And Plumlee is a pretty good finisher when he can get some space.
Guys, first points of the second half.
So he has really worked on the free throw line. No, he missed that one earlier in the year. He was shooting 39%. Last 7 games, 75%.
Struggling though tonight, 0 for 3. Foul on Kelly, his 3rd. Bonus for Carolina.
I'm trying to make the kid look like a star, and you got to be honest. You got to be honest.
Sorry, Dick. The facts are the facts, right?
Somebody told me before the game, he said, hey, make sure you tell people how much Mason's improved.
Yeah. He certainly doesn't have the stroke of a guy who shoots in the 40s as Barnes knocks down the first.
That Barnes just looks like a player. You just look at his body, you look at his stature, and you say, player.
He can make difficult shots, and when he gets hot, he is really difficult to cover.
Well, late in the year last year into the ACC tournament.
What a pass. Perfect execution. Marshall knew that was coming.
8 assists now for Marshall. The lead is 11.
So beautiful when you see the way he passes that ball.
Kelly lost it on the way up, but a foul is called on Harrison Barnes, I believe.
Kendall said his dad used to take him out 2 hours a day when he was 8 and 9 years old. Take him to a gym and work with him. And he said, I basically hated it. Now I love it because I see what it's done for my career.
And forgive me, the foul not on Barnes. It's on McAdoo, his 4th. So McAdoo in the game with 4. Zeller on the bench with 4 for North Carolina. Seth Curry has 4 for Duke. He's on the bench right now.
You know, Kelly went 14 for 14 on the line. The best ever at Duke, Dick Rowe went 18 for 18. Swing the bat, too.
Not bad.
MVP.
Yeah, MVP in the major leagues with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and in 1 year at Duke led the nation of both scoring and assists.
Now the voice of Pittsburgh basketball, who got beat today by South Florida.
McAdoo baseline. Lays it in. That was impressive.
They have talked to James Michael McAdoo about being more aggressive. That was aggressive.
You know, McAdoo, Bullock, and Hurston really have a lot of ability and a lot of talent. I think there's a tendency for them to back away a little.
Rivers misses the 3. Henson saves it.
Now you got to play smart. Got to manage the clock. Shot selection.
Marshall pulled it out, but Roy Williams wanted him to really push it.
Roy Williams is doing calisthenics over in front of the bench trying to call out a play.
Well, he's calling out a play called power. They're going to try to get the ball inside here. He'll shuffle count and get to the low block.
And Barnes with a mismatch has had a guard on him all night long. Misses the jumper over Dawkins.
He's got to go to the basket more. I think he tends to be too much of a jump shooter.
Thornton for 3. Plumlee the rebound, lost it. They'll get another chance. And finish. Mason Plumlee sticking with it underneath.
Nice play by Thornton to get him the rock. Thornton took the 3, made 2 big threes to beat Kansas.
Yep. You were at that game, Jay, out in Maui way back in November. A 9-point deficit right now. Carolina leading Duke 79-70. More college hoops comes your way Saturday on ESPN at 6 Eastern. A great battle out of the Big Ten. Number 12 Michigan State and number 3 Ohio State. And then Saturday primetime presented by DirecTV. Kentucky at Vanderbilt. Dick, you saw Kentucky in person last night against the Gators. What did you think?
Well, I'm so impressed with them defensively. I think that's why I give them the edge. I think they're so difficult to score on. They lead the nation in field goal percentage defensively because of the versatility of the kid inside. Davis, I think he has a great shot, Jay, to be the first player ever to hit a grand slam in basketball. Player of the year, freshman of the year, defensive player of the year, and first pick of the draft.
Yeah, at the very minimum, Dick, I think they can already start engraving the National Defensive Player of the Year with his name on it. He's been spectacular.
Freshman of the year, too.
Here comes Marshall. Under 4 minutes to play here in Chapel Hill. Carolina with the ball and a 9-point lead. John Henson, by the way, has 17 rebounds in this game. 1 shy of his career high as we have a Duke foul.
Wow, that caught me by surprise. I didn't know he had that many. Did you?
Yeah, I knew he had a double-double.
All you big guys know that.
Ryan, Jimmy, thank you. And how about that loss by Florida State? That kind of alters the landscape at the top of the ACC a little bit. The second loss for Leonard Hamilton's team as Florida State is now 7-2. Duke is 6-2 right now. Carolina is 7-1. So a win here for Carolina. They'll have sole possession of top spot in the ACC.
Free throw line is going to be really important down the stretch. 1, can you get there? And 2, if you do get there, you're going to knock them down.
So you can play off Gordon. He's not a threat from the perimeter.
Rivers has been a threat from everywhere tonight. Floater off the glass. Austin Rivers, 26 points.
He's got a versatile way of scoring. He can score in many, many ways. A lot of variety, man. Medium range, drive, shoot the 3.
Well, Doc is here to see maybe the best game that Austin Rivers has had in a Duke uniform, but he needs a little help if Duke's going to win this one.
Yeah, Austin Rivers can get his own shot. He's really the only player on this Duke team that can go get his own. And he's been getting his own a lot tonight.
tell you one thing, if they want to really make this a strong finish, they got to do it on the defensive end.
Looked like an offensive foul.
Barnes knocks it down. The lead back to 10.
Got to guard people, Jay. You can't come from behind. You can't come and knock a double-digit deficit unless you're going to guard.
Well, that was a really strong move by Harrison Barnes, but if we do get a replay, he dropped that shoulder and then dropped the Duke defender.
Another guy who's been contributing tonight, a guy with a world of ability, James Michael McAdoo.
Well, they've talked to him about being more aggressive, and off this missed free throw, you see, he keeps the ball alive, and as a result, North Carolina gets possession, and ultimately, when Duke's unable to contain the drive, they have to help up, and James Michael McAdoo winds up getting a bucket.
Yeah, one thing, he'll wind up with the bucket, but it was created off the passing ability also of Marshall. Great vision. He can say what he wants. He has great basketball vision.
You know, another thing, if it's possible for it to have been done quietly tonight, and I don't know if that's the case, Harrison Barnes, guys, has 25 points.
Unbelievable the way he started.
Yeah, 6 in the first half, 19 in the second half.
On the other side, Zeller's been quiet in the second half.
Yeah. Zeller has only 2 points in the second half, 21 in the game.
Plays soft on court.
Kelly misses the three. The ball was deflected. Brian Kersey, one of the officials, say that Henson got a piece of it. Henson said he didn't touch it, but it'll be Duke ball.
Well, the good news for Henson, he gets a block shot, so it's not all is not lost for him.
Little stat for him. Stuff that stat sheet.
Henry wants the ball. Henson defending. Thornton for three.
Wow. He said, who said I can't shoot? Who said I can't shoot?
That would be the swag to our right.
Yeah.
To my right and Jay's left. Down to 7, guys, with 2 minutes to go. Meanwhile, back to Harrison Barnes. 25 points in this game, 19 of it in the second half.
Well, really one of the elite jump shooters in college basketball. The pass back when he had his feet set Vic, knocking down that three. But when he puts the ball on the floor, 1 or 2 dribbles, he's really difficult to deal with.
Yeah, he creates a lot of space for that jump shot. I want to ask you, Jay, right now. I had Kentucky last night. You took Jones, you took Davis, and you took Kid Gilchrist versus Carolina's threesome. Who do you give the edge to?
Wow, that's a tough one. Yeah, I think North Carolina is continuing to get better. I think they're playing with a little bit more focus, better concentration. I think they've got a chance with a high ceiling to get much better, and you can see they've really done a dominant job with this front court tonight. But I think Kentucky's getting better as well.
They're getting better, but I give the edge to North Carolina for one reason. The up and down play of Terrence Jones is not consistent enough, and I think he has to be a little bit more consistent. If he plays to what people thought he should be playing, and give them the
Mason Plumlee with a steal for Duke. Curry might have gotten away with steps and then bellies a three.
He did get away with one, Dan, no doubt about it. But he made it count. A big three. Nothing like the three to change the complexion of the game.
Mom and Dad, Del Curry is behind the Duke bench. It's down to 4.
And this is the half-court possession by possession finish that Duke wanted.
Barnes. Offensive foul. 4th foul on Barnes.
Giving Duke an opportunity right here.
And there was really no reason for that. It was Barnes essentially going 1-on-4.
Should have given the ball up to Marshall and let him be the orchestrator leader. I thought he walked 2 prior to that.
A Thornton 3 and a Curry 3 have made it a 4-point game. Duke's got 13 threes on the night. Kelly misses one, long rebound right back to him. Baseline jumper, 2-point game.
Unbelievable finish. Unbelievable finish. We said the 3 would have to be big for Duke to have a chance. Trying to spread the court now.
Less than a minute to go in regulation. 8-0 run Blue Devils.
We're going to get the ball in Marshall's hands.
Barnes. Now Marshall calling for a screen. Zeller wants it. And a push in the back by Plumlee. 2 free throws coming for Zeller. 4th on Plumlee.
Makes both. You got a 2-possession game.
Boy, the long rebound. No block out of the shooter, and Ryan Kelly just hits that little second shot. That's a tough shot.
You don't see people block that hard. That's a miss right there. Now it's a one-possession game, even if he converts.
Zeller 5 of 8 tonight, 79% on the season.
They need to have a three. I think if Duke drives this ball, they can get something good.
And a guy to drive it, you want to get the ball in Rivers' hands. Set some screens. Set some screens for him. He's up. Good step out by Zeller.
Bullock doing a good job on Rivers.
Now trying to deny it.
Yep.
Doesn't want to get the ball back.
They call it. They need a timeout. There it is.
Got him a little bit out of rhythm right there.
Last timeout for Duke.
Look at this here. Does he take a step?
1, 2, 3, 4.
NBA, you get away with that. But he got away with it in college.
He got away with it here.
He got away with it in college. He got away with it in college.
So Duke's got the ball out of timeouts. Double bonus both ways. 20 seconds to go. Dick, this is your 40th Duke-Carolina game. It's got to be one of the more memorable ones you've done.
Well, it's certainly memorable because I'm working with a threesome. 3 guys here. Hey, Jay, we're coming down the stretch right now. A lot of talk about don't let people shoot the three. There's too much time left on the clock to think about fouling now. But if it was under 5 seconds, I firmly believe you challenge, but you don't let them shoot the three.
Yeah, if it was under 5 seconds, you might think about giving up, giving a foul, especially since you've got such a good rebounding. North Carolina's such a good rebounding team.
Too much time.
But here, I think if Duke gets something off the ball screen, they can get some penetration, maybe then kick it out for an open three. That's a good three. Otherwise, you can get a 2 and extend this game.
Remember when they used to call this place kind of a wine and cheese place, and it didn't have any atmosphere? And
Sammy used to say that.
It's rocking pretty good tonight.
They got atmosphere, no question. Yeah, look at all the dancing, man. Disco tip.
Duke, by the way, has taken 35 threes tonight. They've made 13 of them. Carolina, 1 of 6 from beyond the arc. Here we go. 10 to shoot. Kelly to tie.
Hey, what about a foul?
And tipped into his own basket by Zeller.
Almost missed a foul here on Kelly.
Well, what a great job by Duke of screening Ryan Kelly out on the perimeter. It was a little on big screen.
And now the decision is the shot was taken and deflected in by a North Carolina player. Is that a three?
Wow. Wow.
That should be a three.
That should be a three. I think you're right.
And that John Cal.
If it was deflected, it should be.
It was deflected in.
Well, they counted it 2. They called it 2.
Wow. Jeff Capel is arguing with one of the officials, one of the assistants for Duke. John Cal's coming over. Jay and Dick will take off their headsets.
John Cal said the three-point shot was not going to get in. It was tapped in
by an offensive player, I believe he said.
Yeah, but tapped
that's
in.
What it's
said it was not going to go in.
Yeah, it's deemed the offensive player.
Yeah,
okay.
it had to have a chance to go in.
All right, so it's a 2. Big call. And the immediate foul. Zeller will head to the free throw line.
How does he know it wasn't going to go in?
Yeah, I'm not all convinced you know that's not going to go in.
I mean, that's a straight-on angle if we had something from the side.
Right. From our angle, actually sitting at the table, we could see it was not going to go in. Here's maybe a truer angle.
Yeah, that really, I guess from their view, that had no chance of going in. I got one eye, so I defer to both you guys.
Meanwhile, the foul was on Tyler Thornton. He is out of the game. Andre Dawkins will take his place. Tyler Zeller will go to the line for 2 free throws. 6 for 9 on the night. And 79% on the season, even if he makes both.
One possession.
A one-possession game, and keep in mind, Duke is out of timeouts.
How quiet is this place? Unbelievable.
But even if he makes both, if he makes this second one, Duke still doesn't have to have a 3. If they attack the basket and kick it out, fine. But you can still stretch this game out.
They got a chance to win it with a three, man. They got a chance to win it. This kid said, I'm going to make an impact in this game, and he has made an impact.
Who will take the shot?
Will he make a bigger impact?
Rivers!
Unbelievable!
An incredible finish here in Chapel Hill. Freshman Austin Rivers with a three at the buzzer to win it for Duke. And this place is in stunned silence right now. They are going to review the shot, the officials, to make sure that Rivers got it off in time.
What a tremendous individual play. The step back over a 7-footer.
Look at Curry yelling at him to go.
He was unbelievable all night, Doug.
And clearly in time.
Yes, sir, clearly
in time.
And what about his quote? I tell you, I read his quote today. I will make an impact in this game.
Did he ever?
Wow, what an impact.
6 threes, 29 points. The game-winning shot to stun the crowd here in Chapel Hill.
Stunning. A diaper dandy makes an incredible impact on this game. Robbie Pickerel wrote about that today. She wrote about freshmen making impacts in this game. And here's one, my friends.
What a theft. An absolute theft. Unbelievable.
Carolina had a 10 to 12 point lead for most of the second half. Thornton hit a three, Curry hit a three, and eventually Rivers hits a three. 14 threes in the game for Duke as they pull one out in miraculous fashion here tonight, ending the game, Dick, on a 13-2 run.
Unbelievable. Remember, we kept saying, basically, North Carolina was not putting them away. They weren't putting them away when they had a chance. Allow them to hang. And if you allow a team to hang, that can make threes. Look at that jubilation.
Let's go to Aaron Andrews.
Dan, thanks so much. I'm going to make you repeat what you just said as you came over here.
Well, basically, the play was drawn up to look for Amir Andre, and Andre couldn't get open, so we ran a pick and roll, and Zeller switched on me, and I just shot it with confidence, and God made the ball go in, man.
Well, I meant the part where you said that was the best game of my life. How do you put those final seconds ticking down into words here?
Well, I said the best day of my life, not the best game, but.
All right, I misunderstood.
No, it was. I mean, this is just a great feeling. UNC is one of the best teams in the country, so for us to come in here and just not give up and come and get a win, it means a lot, man.
Austin, not give up. How did you guys get on that run to get back into this thing?
Don't give up, man. Coach K never gives up on us, man. Coach K and his staff just kept believing in us, and they kept telling us that we could do it. And we believed in him, and we believed in each other. And one thing people don't know about this team is that we got each other's back. And all week they're talking about how UNC was going to beat us and how this is going to be a party for them, and that Duke's not a frontier team. And, that really pissed us off. So we try to come out here and get a win.
Very candid, Austin Rivers. Thank you so much.
Aaron, thank you. You got that right. The best day of his life, not necessarily the best game of his life, but the best day of his life. But boy, Doc is a proud papa tonight, is he not? As Austin Rivers, after the missed free throw by Zeller that made it a 2-point game, and as Rivers tells us, the play was designed for either him or Dawkins. Dawkins wasn't open. He got the switch, and then Dick, he had the poise and the confidence to take the shot.
Well, I believe, right here, you take him looking at that jumper. There was no doubt in his mind that he wanted to shoot that shot, Jay. And what will it be like since you've been here? What would it be like on a campus tomorrow, Duke?
It'll be great now.
Bus ride's going to be fun, huh?
Yeah, bus ride will be a lot better.
Yep.
They did, and he's right. They didn't give up, but they got the half-court game toward the end of the game that they wanted, the possession-by-possession game. And what a shot by Austin Rivers. I mean, an incredible turnaround.
Yeah.
North Carolina had this game in hand.
Absolutely.
They led for every moment of the second half, North Carolina. Every moment of the second half until the ball went through the basket after the end of the game. Austin the shot. Doc the celebration. Isn't he happy the Celtics didn't play tonight? What a win for Duke here in Chapel Hill. Stunning the Tar Heels 85-84. For Dick, Jay, and Aaron, I'm Dan. Thanks for watching. Duke beats Carolina. Sports Center is now.